Here's a paradox that broke every rule in rock. Queen didn't just create a stadium anthem, they engineered a scientific phenomenon. A punk rock confrontation, astrophysics delays, and a 77-year-old tea lady who made rock history. These are 20 weird facts about We Will Rock You. And the bonus, everything started with borrowed punk equipment. Plug in. This set's about to thunder. Number 1. The crowd sound was fake, but scientifically perfect. Brian May didn't hire thousands of people for the stomping effect. He used astrophysics instead. Recording at Wessex Studios, a converted 1881 church, May faced an impossible challenge: make 4 people sound like a stadium crowd without traditional reverb. His solution revolutionized audio engineering forever. Number 2. Prime numbers created the crowd illusion. May set multiple delay machines to different timing ratios based on prime numbers, non-harmonic reverberation that prevented acoustic interference. As he explained, "Being a physicist, I said, suppose there were 1,000 people doing this, what would be happening?" This technique was so revolutionary it influenced commercial delay units like the Lexicon Prime Time. Modern digital plugins still use May's prime number theory. Number 3. Sid Vicious crashed their recording session drunk and confrontational. The Sex Pistols were recording Never Mind the Bollocks at the same studio. Vicious burst into Queen's control room and sarcastically asked Freddie Mercury, "Have you succeeded in bringing ballet to the masses yet?" This referenced Mercury's recent ballet comments to NME magazine. The punk versus prog clash was about to explode. Number 4. Mercury's response was pure theatrical genius. "Oh yes, Simon Ferocious. We're trying our best, dear," Mercury replied, then started playfully flicking the safety pins on Vicious's leather jacket. "Tell me, did you arrange these pins just so?" When Vicious stepped forward intimidatingly, Mercury simply pushed him backwards and asked, "What are you going to do about it?" Vicious immediately backed down. Mercury physically escorted him out by the lapels. Number 5. The 77-year-old tea lady became rock royalty. Betty Edwards worked at Wessex Studios for 27 years and lived next door. She was recruited to participate in the group's stomping sessions alongside Queen members, roadies, and engineers. Betty became beloved by countless artists, receiving thank you credits on numerous albums. Her contribution to rock's most famous Stomp Stomp clap is permanent musical history. Number 6. One concert moment sparked 2 anthems simultaneously. May 29, 1977, at Bingley Hall in Stafford, England, changed everything. After Queen's encore, instead of just clapping, the audience spontaneously sang "You'll Never Walk Alone" back to the band. Brian May called it quite an emotional experience, really. The next morning, the Stomp Stomp clap pattern came to May. That same night, Mercury wrote "We Are the Champions." Number 7. They embraced what they'd previously fought against. Initially, Queen preferred audiences to be listened to and taken seriously rather than participate. But after Bingley Hall, May told Mercury they could no longer fight this audience participation phenomenon, they had to embrace it. This philosophical shift from progressive complexity to participatory simplicity defined their late 70s evolution. The punk movement was forcing even the most theatrical bands to reconsider their approach. Number 8. The famous stomp was performed on stolen punk equipment. The iconic stomping sound was created using wooden boards that were actually the Sex Pistols' drum riser, lying around Wessex Studios. The 4 Queen members sat on a grand piano with the lid down, wearing heavy boots, and stomped on punk rock equipment. They recorded this process approximately 15 times, each take processed through May's complex prime number delay system. Number 9. No actual drums were used anywhere except the guitar solo. Roger Taylor served as rhythm conductor, initially worried about abandoning his drum kit, but ultimately embracing the radical concept. The recording took place in the church's main hall to utilize natural acoustics. This was one of rock's first major hits to abandon traditional rhythm section instrumentation for found objects and body percussion. Hey, pretty wild so far, right? If you're enjoying this deep dive, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because in a minute we hit Johnny Rotten crawling on all fours, a T-boy becoming co-producer, and how radio stations created illegal lacquers. Trust me, it only gets more bizarre from here. Number 11. Johnny Rotten made the most surreal studio entrance in rock history. The Sex Pistols frontman crawled on all fours across Queen's studio to Mercury, who was playing piano, and said "Hello, Freddie" before leaving on all fours. According to engineer Bill Price and Queen roadie Peter Hintz, Rotten was fascinated by Mercury's meticulous recording technique, noting how Freddie recorded every line separately, sometimes just a word, and then they'd edit them. Number 12. Brian May offered Johnny Rotten backing vocals on a Queen track. Rotten later revealed this bizarre collaboration offer, though he couldn't remember which song, clarifying it wasn't the Galileo one, referring to Bohemian Rhapsody. The punk icon's crawling entrance perfectly captured the surreal collision of musical cultures happening at Wessex in 1977. Two opposite worlds of rock briefly intersected in the most unexpected ways. Number 13. Queen was rebelling against their own Baroque excess. They completed News of the World in just 10 weeks compared to 5 months for A Day at the Races. This dramatic shift was their conscious reaction to both the punk movement and their own perfectionist tendencies. Mercury declared, "I feel the Queen's style of well-produced albums is over. We've done to death multi-tracked harmonies." The band was essentially punkifying themselves. Number 14. One song was recorded in a single take, a Queen first and last. Sleeping on the Sidewalk holds the distinction of being the only song in Queen's entire catalog recorded in one take. The band embraced spontaneity over previous perfectionism. May noted they always used to work on backing tracks until they were 1,000,000% perfect, but for this album we wanted to get that spontaneity back in. Punk was teaching prog rock to loosen up. Number 15. The T-Boy became co-producer through extraordinary talent. Mike Stone received his first full co-producer credit on News of the World after starting as Trident Studios' T-Boy. Originally trained as an accountant, Stone worked up through studio hierarchy. Brian May praised his extraordinarily sensitive EQ work with fingers that would magically tickle the EQ settings. From serving tea to co-producing rock anthems, the ultimate studio success story. Number 16. New York radio created illegal lacquers for continuous play. WNDUH made special lacquer recordings to play We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions consecutively without interruption. Released as a double A-side on October 7, 1977, radio stations immediately began back-to-back programming. May had fought to make them consecutive on the album, envisioning unified experience. This radio innovation established the pairing that defines both songs today. Number 17. It became America's most scientifically analyzed sports anthem. BMI officially declared We Will Rock You the one most played sports anthem, with success attributed to specific design elements May had scientifically calculated. He intentionally designed it for mass participation after remembering how Boston Garden's wooden floors created thunder when crowds made noise. The minimalist instrumentation made it accessible regardless of musical ability. Number 18. The song generated over 18 years of continuous airplay. Through 2023, We Will Rock You accumulated over 9.5 million US radio and TV performances. BMI calculated this as equivalent to over 18 years of non-stop playing based on average song length. The NHL's Minnesota Wild and NFL's Dallas Cowboys used it most heavily during the 2008 season, generating six-figure annual performance royalties for the band. Number 19. It transcended music to become folk culture. Billboard named it the greatest jock jam of all time in 2017, noting it had essentially become folk music. Many who chant it have no conscious knowledge of its origin or meaning. It's simply part of collective cultural DNA. The song achieved something beyond commercial success. It became a shared human ritual spanning generations and cultures. Number 20. The church studio location was prophetic. Recording in a converted 1881 church wasn't just atmospheric, it was symbolically perfect. We Will Rock You became a kind of secular hymn, bringing crowds together in communal expression. The natural acoustics of the sacred space enhanced the prime number delays, creating a sound that would echo through stadiums like cathedrals. Sometimes the universe aligns perfectly for art. But wait, before we hit the bonus fact that reveals the recording's hidden technical secret, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. We drop new music mysteries every week, and you won't want to miss what we're uncovering next. Bonus fact: the entire recording session was an accident of timing and technology. The prime number delay technique, the Sex Pistols equipment, the church acoustics, the Tea Ladies' participation, and the punk-prog collision, none were planned. May's scientific background, Mercury's theatrical instincts, and the chaotic energy of 1977 London punk created a perfect storm. The track that would define stadium experiences worldwide emerged from the most unlikely circumstances: borrowed punk equipment, church acoustics, and astrophysics applied to audio engineering in a moment when rock's past and future collided. If Queen shaped your taste, changed your life, or meant something to you, drop a like and subscribe for more untold stories from music history. Tell us in the comments which fact shocked you most. Thanks for watching. And remember, sometimes the most lasting thunder emerges from the most unexpected scientific and creative collisions.